And what is your dilemma? It says, I got this text message. Yo, what up, Rome? Some of you guys send me some long text messages, by the way. Yo, what up, Rome? So I have a dilemma. I am married, I've been married for 4 years, also a dad. My best friend is single, and for his birthday, he wants just us guys to go to the club with him. Well, you don't have a dilemma, because right off the bat, anybody that wants just the guys to go is just stupid. I mean, especially if, you know, you're married and wives and girlfriends can't go. I mean, that's just, even if it's a strip club, that's just stupid. So you don't have a dilemma. You have a horrible friend. And me, I've been all work. I don't go to the clubs anymore. My weekend nights consist of cracking open a 12er, okay, and playing Madden all night till I pass out when my wife and the kids go to bed. Now, my wife doesn't like my best friend because he can be a bit much and is single, but I can't control that. That's fair. I told her I was going to go to the club for a bit for his birthday, and my wife was tripping hard and said she will leave me if I go. And I tried to explain to her that it's my best friend since third grade, and I'll only go for a little bit because honestly, I'm not interested in going to a club. I have no business there, but it's my best friend. She said she doesn't trust the women there and that if I go, she will leave me. What should I do, Rome? Turn my back on my best friend and not go, or listen to my wife and stay home? Okay. See, now I'm gonna turn on your wife, because I think if she's gonna say that is just you should never give an ultimatum like that to your spouse. Either way, male or female. You know, we had this conversation. I don't know. We've had this conversation maybe last week, or who asking permission as adult. An adult should never have to ask another adult permission. Especially if everything you're saying is on the up and up, then you should never, your wife should have no doubts in you going for a little bit and coming home. And trust, it doesn't matter what the women do. How does your wife, I mean, what about your wife? How insecure is your wife? So when she goes out into the pub, do you not get to go to the grocery store? Do you not get to go to the gas station? Do you not get to go to any place on your own? Because there are women everywhere. Not just at the club. There are women everywhere. So what does your wife do? Your wife doesn't get hit on? What? I mean, what? There's just, no. And granted, I've never cheated on her and give her everything she wants, but leaving me for one guy's night at the club when I haven't been in a club for about 2 years. I don't know, Rome. What should I do? Well, I'm going to tell you what I would do. I would go to the club. But that's just out of pure... You're not going to tell me what to do because you don't want me to tell you what to do. Do you tell your wife what to do? But I guess that's another, I mean, that depends on, I guess it depends on the dynamic you have with your wife. Do you tell her what to do? Do you control where she can and can't go? If that's the case, then yeah, you got to listen to her. But if she does whatever she wants freely, you can do whatever you want freely. You should never have to ask permission. Now, I'm on the fence on this one, because if it's your best friend, regardless, if he knows you're not into that and he wants to go hang out with single people, then he should understand that that's not your scene anymore and you guys should do something different. Okay? I would never trust a single man who's trying to drag a married man into a single situation. I would never trust that guy, because dirt's going to go down. It's just going to happen. Things go wrong. Sometimes things are uncontrollable. But your best friend shouldn't put you in that situation. And your wife shouldn't be telling you what you can't do and giving you an ultimatum like she's going to leave. So, unfortunately, at this point, if you're asking me to make a hardline decision, I would go, just because I'm not going to take an ultimatum like that, especially if you've done nothing wrong ever. And, you know. All right, 4254777. And club, what club are you guys going to? There's no clubs out there? This guy, he got a little dilemma. He says he's been married for about 4 years now. He's also a dad. His best friend, I guess, since third grade, they've been best friends. And he's still single. They want just a guy's night out for his birthday at the club. He says, I go to work. I don't do clubs anymore. I usually hang out at home with a 12er. You know, I play video games, hang out with my wife and my kid. Now, my wife doesn't like my best friend. He can be a bit much and is single, like I said, but I can't control that. I told her I was going to go to the club for a bit for his birthday. My wife was tripping hard, said she will leave me if I go. That's pretty rough right there. I have no business there, but he's my best friend. She said she doesn't trust the women there and that if I go, she will leave me. What should I do, Rome? Turn my back on my best friend and not go or listen to my wife and stay home? Well, I mean, got no priors. Your wife has no reason to do that. Unless you dictate what your wife does, then she shouldn't be dictating what you do. And if you say you've never cheated or if you've never done anything behind her back, then why is she doing this? Yeah. Already 42547 but I'm going to walk the fence and only to say that your friend shouldn't ask you to do this. There should be something else you could do with celebrating his birthday. Maybe go to dinner and then him and the other guys can go to the club later. But once your wife tries to give you an ultimatum, no, you got to go. Already 42547. Hey, Romeo, I can't believe you just told that guy to go. You're going to get him divorced. Well, I don't think do you think she'll really leave him? Come on. Already 42547. So yeah, a guy sent me a text and Rome, I got a dilemma. I've been married for 4 years. I'm also a dad. My best friend is single and for his birthday, he wants just the guys to go to the club with him. I work all day. I don't go out in the club anymore. I just hang out at home, maybe drink some beers, play some video games after my kids and wife go to bed. Now, my wife doesn't like my best friend, but I can't control that. Told her I was going to go to the club for his birthday for just a little bit. My wife was tripping hard and said she will leave me if I go. I tried to explain to her that it's my best friend and since third grade, and I will only go for a bit because honestly, I'm not interested in the club. I have no business. But it's my best friend. She said she don't trust the women at those clubs. Does she trust women in general? So she thinks that the woman at the club is more dangerous than the woman at Target or the grocery store or any place else that single women go when they're not at a club. Okay. That's a little insecure right there. Already 42547. So he was asking me what I thought he should do. If she's going to give you an ultimatum, I think you should go just because, but you're 4 years into your marriage. How are you going to live your marriage? You're going to live your marriage the way that every time you want to do something that she doesn't want you to do, she's just going to throw the I'll leave you card and you won't do it? Who wants to live like that? No adult should live like that. That'd be a horrible marriage. I would like to know, though, how you treat her, just because if you dictate what she does, then she has every right to dictate what you do. So I should preference it when I say that. I'm just assuming that you don't tell her what to do. She has no right to tell you what to do. Right? Alrighty, 42547. Hey, Romeo, that guy needs to stay home with his wife. He has no business at a club. He's given up that single life with his friends for his wife and child. There is no reason for him to be out with his buddies if his wife's not able to go. I agree with that. I agree 100% with what you're saying. Once you've decided that you're not going to be a single man anymore and you're going to settle down and have a family, your family should come first. A lot of you guys will still try to hang on to those friendships, and which is fine. They just have to be different once you have a wife and family. It's not the same, okay? Which I understand completely. Your friend has to understand, hey, your lifestyle's changed. If he wants to still be your friend, you guys have to meet in the middle somewhere that accommodates everybody, right? I think we can all agree upon that. But a lot of guys don't do that. They still want to keep that single life out there with their friends separate from their married life, and it causes problems. But I will say this. Once your wife throws down an ultimatum like, I will leave you if you're going to do this, all bets are off. Now you got to go. I mean, Now you got to go. She's being unreasonable. She's trying to control you and dictate what you're doing by whether she's going to stay in your marriage. If she's willing to throw your marriage away that easily because you're going to go somewhere where, you know, nothing's going to happen, then yeah, does she really love? Maybe you should just leave her on principle alone. I got this text message from a guy. He was talking about a dilemma. He says he's been married for 4 years, also a dad. Says his best friend is single, and for his birthday, he wants to just the guys to go to the club with him. He said, all I do is work. I don't go to clubs anymore. Weekend nights consists of cracking open a 12 or playing some Madden after the wife and the kid go to bed. My wife now doesn't like my best friend. He can be a bit much and is single, but I can't control that. I told her I was going to the club for a bit for his birthday, and my wife is tripping hard and said she will leave me if I go. I tried to explain to her that it's my best friend since third grade. He knows. He says, I have no business there, but it's my friend's birthday, so you do have some business there, right? So the wife comes out and says, hey, if you go, I'm going to leave you. Right there. I'm going to leave you if you go. You're telling your husband if he does something that you don't want, that you're going to leave him regardless of whether he does the right thing or not. That, to me, causes some issues. But also, your best friend living the single life, knowing you live a married life, he should understand there's other options out there. So, actually, they're both wrong. Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Rom?
Hey, Ruben. What's going on, man?
Man, bro, I guess I got to disagree with you today. I know you're saying she's putting ultimatums up and stuff like that, Rom, but, like, he's flat out said it himself. That's not, I shouldn't be there. Like, it's not a place for me to be. He's a married man. You know what? If you're like my crew, your girl would have been invited.
Well, that's the point. It's both. No, but hold on. See, you missed the first part of what I said. Your friend should never put you in that position to begin with. But once your wife throws an ultimatum at you, like, I'm going to leave you if you go, that's a wrap. You're going to throw something away that simply.
Does she say that to like, if he says, I'm going to have a drink with a buddy, or does she just say that because he's going to go clubbing?
I don't know. We don't have that information.
You know what I mean? If it's just because you're going to go clubbing, you can't hold her for that. You know what I mean? Because you can't compare Target to clubbing, because when they're clubbing, everybody buzzes.
I can compare.
Everybody got some beer goggles on.
I can compare any place in this world to clubbing, because if women want a man, they don't care where they get them at.
Yeah, but when they got them beer goggles on, Rome, that's even worse at the club.
No, it's not.
It's even more.
I've been plenty of places where I've seen women hit on men that have nope. There's not one that at work, at restaurants, at bars.
No, Rome. What are clubs for? Couples or single people, right?
Clubs are for
Okay, then. So he's not single. He's a couple. Either he goes with his girl, he just don't go, and his buddy got to suck it up.
Well, I'm not arguing that point. But once your wife throws an ultimatum down like that, what does your marriage really mean?
Maybe he's being stubborn, Rome. Maybe he's being stubborn. No, I'm going to go with my buddy. You got to understand. Keep going and going. Finally, she's like, damn, dude, like, your buddy's more important than our relationship?
You're not, but you're hold on. He's not going to have sex with some other woman. He's going somewhere with his friends. The odds that he's going to have sex are probably very little, or the odds that he's going to do anything to disrespect his marriage could be zero.
But how do we know that, Rome? Because he didn't say too much, and you know what I mean? Like, what if he's one of them dudes that like to flirt with women and all that stuff? Maybe that's why she's putting ultimatums on him, because he doesn't know that.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. You're 100% wrong. But okay.
All right.
I gotta go.
I'm just saying, your household under your roof should always come first.
Get out of here. I gotta go. RD 4254-7-7. So I got this text message from a guy. He was talking about a dilemma. He says he's been married for 4 years, also a dad. Says his best friend is single, and for his birthday, he wants to just the guys to go to the club with him. He said, all I do is work. I don't go to clubs anymore. Weekend nights consists of cracking open a 12 or playing some Madden after the wife and the kid go to bed. My wife now doesn't like my best friend. He can be a bit much and is single, but I can't control that. I told her I was going to the club for a bit for his birthday, and my wife is tripping hard and said she will leave me if I go. I tried to explain to her that it's my best friend since third grade. He knows. He says, I have no business there, but it's my friend's birthday, so you do have some business there, right? So the wife comes out and says, hey, if you go, I'm going to leave you. Right there. I'm going to leave you if you go. You're telling your husband if he does something that you don't want, that you're going to leave him regardless of whether he does the right thing or not. That, to me, causes some issues. But also, your best friend living the single life, knowing you live a married life, he should understand there's other options out there. So, actually, they're both wrong. Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
What's going on, Rome? Kelly Gill.
Hey, what up, Gilly?
I talked to Annette about this, and Annette said this. And she's absolutely right. She said he shouldn't have worded it that way because you gave him the ultimate ultimatum. You know, like, you better, if you don't do this, I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
You know, and if you want to do that, because she's going to put that spin on everything.
Exactly. What happens next time? You want to go watch the football game with your buddies? I'll just leave you. Well,
exactly.
Hell no.
See, Ruben, that's the reason I have a 40-year marriage. You know?
Yeah, Ruben. Sometimes Ruben goes a little too hard on one way and doesn't understand what's really happened. Sometimes I guess I'll give you that.
But he's the gardener. What do you say?
Oh, God. All right, Kelly, get out
Later.
there. RD4254777. What'd you text me here? Hey, Rome, I love Ruben and all, but he's wrong. He gets way too extreme most of the time, and you do not want that much drama in a relationship. Yeah, I mean, Ruben does go a little too far over the top. You know, there is a balance. Hey, Rome, that last guy that called is stupid. You should have just hung up on him. Oh, Ruben? Yeah, I mean, what is the wife, if she's going to throw that card out there? What happens if he wants to go play golf with his buddies? Oh, I'm going to leave you if you go? I mean, you don't know anything's going to happen. He could go to the club for an hour and come home and do nothing disrespectful to his marriage, but she's going to throw out the I'm going to leave you card? How much does she really care about her marriage if that's what she's saying? You know, the single guy doesn't. The best friend, he doesn't care about their marriage. You know, he just probably wants a single buddy back. But how much does she really care if she's going to tell her spouse, I'm going to leave you if you do this? I mean, yeah. And you guys know how I feel. No adult should ever have to ask permission from another adult to do anything. You're adults. Saturday afternoon, it was Saturday evening. It wasn't really, about 5, 6 o'clock. I went down to meet a buddy of mine for a couple of drinks. And there was about 2 or 3 of us that we're just going to hang out for a little bit, not stay out all night, but just have a couple of drinks, before whatever. Well, so I get there and 2 of my buddies are sitting there talking and I sit down, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Well, apparently one of my friends had bought this girl a drink and he's telling us the story. He goes, man, I was sitting here waiting for you guys. And the girl was just kind of like, tearing up, looking sad over at the bar. So thought it was an opportunity for me to walk over. I bought her a drink, talked to her for a little bit, hopefully made her feel a little better, and came back and sat down. He felt really good about cheering her up, like he was proud of himself, which, right? As a human, yeah, somebody's having a bad day. You buy them a drink, you make them feel better, right? Well, the funny thing was, my other buddy goes, did it ever occur to you that she was doing that on purpose just to get somebody to buy her a drink, that she wasn't really sad? And I will tell you this, I don't know if that's true or not, but about an hour or so later, she was sitting there with a couple of her friends having a great time, laughing, telling jokes, telling whatever they were doing, talking about, just having a great time. She didn't look sad anymore. So I don't know. That is, yeah. I mean, that's a great play. If you're a woman, look sad, maybe throw some tears out there so that some guy will come along, buy you a drink, chat you up. I mean, maybe if my buddy was better looking, he might have hooked up with her. I have no idea. But sounds like a great way to get attention, doesn't it? And you can't put anything past anybody anymore. Or you never could, actually, especially when you're trying to get the attention of the opposite sex or somebody you're attracted to. When you're trying to get the attention of somebody you're attracted to, how do you do it? I know a guy that used to cash his whole paycheck and Friday night just carry it with him. So whenever he'd pull out to buy a drink, he had this big wad of money for girls to see. That's how he was trying to get their attention. I got to believe women do the same thing. So I don't know. I don't know if she was really upset or if she was just fake crying to get somebody to buy her a drink or to get some guy to hit on her. I don't know. But you got to believe it happens, right? RD 42547-7. You ever done anything to get somebody's attention that maybe you're into? So I think one of my boys got took on Saturday. I think some girl at a bar we were at. Well, it was a bar restaurant, actually. So I think some girl was pretending to cry to get somebody to buy her a drink. And I think he fell for it. I don't know for sure, but, she seemed a little happier the rest of the night, at least while we were there. Alrighty, 42547-7 makes me wonder, do you ever do anything crazy to get somebody's attention? I mean, guys have been doing it for years. I don't know. I mean, I got to believe women do it. I don't know in what capacity, but guys do it. Alrighty, 42547-7. Hey, Romeo, downtown, there's a spot where a lot of the medical professionals hang out. I bought some scrubs and I used to go down there and pretend I was in the medical field to try to get action. It worked every time. Wow, that's kind of funny. All right, 842-547-7. What do you do to get somebody's attention? Or what have you done? When you're out and about, you're trying to get somebody's attention. How do you do it, right? How are you trying to get somebody's attention? Good morning, Al. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, Rome. How are you doing this morning?
Doing great, brother. What's up?
As slickest thing I've done, Romeo, to get a girl's attention,
Yeah.
I'll go up to the bar and I'll try to get close as I can. So I'll glance over, see if she looks at me back, and if she does, I'll buy a drink. I'll try to see what she's had, or I'll ask the bartender, hey, what's she drinking? Buy the drink, and then I'll walk away. And then that usually works.
She wants to, okay. So then she comes to you?
Yeah, and then she comes to me like, hey, thanks for the drink, what's your name and stuff, and then that's all from there, tacos.
All right, man. Thanks for calling. Later.
All right, Romeo, thanks.
Yeah, what do you do, man? How do you get somebody's attention? How do you do it? Somebody you're attracted to. RD 42547-7. Hey, Romeo, the girl with your friend, she was absolutely faking like she was sad to get a drink. I'll do that all the time. You just got to sit by yourself, look a little lonely and sad, and some guy will come along and buy you a drink. I do it all the time. RD 42547-7. Hey, Romeo, the girl you're talking about that was crying so your buddy would buy her a drink, that's just shysty. Women are just shysty. Okay. I don't know if it's shysty. I mean, how is a woman doing something like that, pretending like she's sad to get a drink, any different than the way you guys do things to get attention from women? How is it any different? It's really not. I mean, because you got to buy because you are always buying the drink. Is that why you think it's shysty? You're a man. You should be buying the drinks. That's the way it goes down when you're out picking up on women or picking up on people, whatever the case may be. If you're the man, you should be buying the drinks. Already 42547-7. So I don't think it's shysty, All right, talking about getting somebody's attention, right? Look at me. How do you get his or her attention? You're out in a bar, maybe you're out and about. I mean, just what do? You got to do something when you find somebody attractive, right? Already 42547-7. Hey, Romeo, when I go shopping anywhere, Target, the grocery store, whatever it may be, if I see a guy that looks cute, I'll drop something in front of him so that he has to help me pick it up, and then I can have my conversation with him. It's kind of smooth. That's kind of smooth right there. You're shopping because, accidentally drop something while you're trying to put it in the basket. He's a nice guy. Well, and if he's a nice guy, he'll pick it up for you, right? This lady dropped something the other day. I was at the grocery store, but it wasn't to pick up on me. It was because she had her hands so full instead of having a basket. But yeah, and I picked it up for her. All right, 842-547-7. That's not bad. That is not bad. Drop something. Then you know if he's a nice guy, he picks it up for you. Then she said she has her conversation. All right, 842-547-7. Like I said, how do you get the attention of somebody? All right, how do you get the attention when you're trying to, hit on somebody or you see somebody you want to talk to? How do you get their attention? All right, 842-547-7. Hey, Romeo, all females need to do is have a big butt to get a guy's attention. Well, first of all, not all guys are into big butts. Second of all, not all girls have big butts. So how are they supposed to do that, right? How is that true? Maybe that's true for just you. All right, 842-547-7. Like I said, man, trying to get at somebody, you want them to notice you, you got to do something because you can't just walk up and say hi. That never works, right? I mean, how many of you just walk up to somebody that you find attractive and say hi? Nah, you got to pull some shenanigans. You got to try something sneaky. You got to drop something in front of them at the grocery store so they pick it up for you. You got to cry at the bar so the guy buys you a drink. I mean, you can't just say hi to somebody anymore, right? All right, 842-547-7. It's what you do to get someone's attention. Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
What's up, Romeo?
What up, man?
Man, when I just want to talk to somebody, I just come up with anything. Like last night, I was at the bar. I just asked this female, I was like, hey, what perfume you got on? She told me, we started talking, and it was over after that.
That's funny, man. That's funny. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for calling, brother. That's pretty good. All right, 842-547-7. Rome, as a man, if I'm at the grocery store, I would pick up certain vegetables or products and look like I'm confused a little and ask the woman, how would she make a certain dish? Sparking a conversation she could go along with, like making dinner. Then she would notice I know how to cook, and myself as a man could also see if she knows how to cook, because Lord knows a big majority of bigger swim women don't know how to actually throw down in the kitchen or a bomb-ass dinner plate. Don't want any quesadillas for the third day this week. That's pretty funny. That's a good one. That's not bad. That's a good play right there. All right, 842-547-7. You want me to tell you the best play I've ever seen, though? Ever seen for picking up women is a guy taking out his nephew, niece to lunch or something like that. And oh, you would not believe how many women would see a guy with a couple of kids or a kid and talk to him. They'd think it was his weekend. It's his weekend. It's your weekend, right? Yeah, it's my weekend with the kids. I got them. And those women eat it up. They eat it up. So if you got a niece or a nephew, a little one you can take out, I'd do it if you're looking to get some. Hey, Rome, all you got to do is wear a wedding ring if you want to get someone's attention, even if you're not married. I knew a guy that did that 20 years ago. 20 years? Yeah, it might have even been 25 years ago. He was doing that. He would wear a wedding ring, and he would get all kinds of women asking him, hey, what's up with that? And he used to tell them. And once they'd ask, he'd say, no, I'm not married. I'm married to my job or married to my career. He'd come up with some nonsense of why he wears a ring to represent, whatever he's committed to. And it was never a woman. But women, he'd pull more women. It's funny how many women want a guy that they know will commit. It's crazy. Morning, Hal, what's going on?
Romeo, you know what I do when I need some attention like that? I just walk the dog. I got a little puppy. Yeah. I don't take it to the east side either. I take it to the rich part of town, little dog park. Walk my dog.
Walk your dog.
You'll be surprised how many women are attracted of men that got a little dog in a nice little suit.
I won't argue with that, Raider Dave. I won't disagree with you on that one.
It was a funny comedy show, too. I seen our local comedian Swap Meet. She did a real good job. It was funny.
Oh, Shadiva?
Her stage name is Swamp Meat. I think that was her name, Swamp Meat or Sweet Meat or something like that. But she was very funny.
Good. Shadiva is funny. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, you guys have a good one. Walk the dog. Remember, get
Walk
you a
the dog.
If you're ugly or lonely, get you a dog, a pretty dog.
Nope. All right. RD4254-7-7. Yo, Rome. If I want a free drink, I'll stop somewhere and have on my Raider Rob shirt. It doesn't fail. The older women be like, oh, man, it's you, Romeo. Romeo's friend. I'll say yes, and it's a wrap. They buy me a drink. It's cool being your friend, Rome. Oh, Raider Rob. There was a guy, this was years ago. There was a guy that worked over he worked at a place where they sold food and drinks, and people would buy him drinks and buy him food because I guess they thought he was me when he was in there. They thought he was me. It was funny. All right, 842-547-7. Hey, Romeo, you're not lying about the nephews. I help out my sister with her kids, take them out, and my nephew is just the cutest little thing. He's about 5 years old, and boy, has a mouth on him. He's definitely my little wingman. Colored eyes and all. The ladies love it. Yeah, it's pretty funny. You would not believe how men in Bakersfield with children, when they go out in public, how much different they're treated than the actual moms out there with their kids. It is absolutely amazing the things I've seen and experienced. Seeing not single men, but just men with their kids alone, how readily women are ready to just help these dudes in whatever capacity, even just opening a door for them when you're pushing a stroller. It's ridiculous. Michael Bean is here. Let's see if we fix the back static or whatever the craziness was. Good morning, Michael.
Well, good morning.
Oh, that sounds much better. I can hear you much better.
Oh, good. Yeah, it sounds better for me, too.
Oh,
so
good. I'm glad to hear that. All right, so Michael Bean is from the Marriage and Family Center, 661-327-5100, or Psychology Today. And we like to talk to him on Thursdays about relationships. I don't know. I don't think they're getting any better. You remember, Michael, when they talked about how communication was the key to relationships? Yeah. Now we have so much communication and it's so readily at our fingertips. Why has not relationships gotten better?
Right? You would think people have all these tools available to them. Why don't they use them? Well, they kind of don't really have those tools available to them, unfortunately, because the real tools that we need when we're having a conversation with somebody that we care about, and it's a subject that we also care about, the real tools are things like, how can I manage my emotions? How can I notice maybe a possible slight coming at me without overreacting to that, or then letting that kind of carry the conversation into unhelpful directions? These are tools that we don't get. Sure, okay, AI can clean up our text before we send it. A lot of people are actually doing that. A lot of people, before they send a message, they'll check it out with AI and just kind of say, hey, is there anything wrong in this? Might it be taken wrong? And AI catches some stuff. So maybe in written communication, maybe these tools are helping. But when it comes down to trying to figure out who's going to do the dishes, AI is not very helpful in that.
I just don't know how we get there, Michael. I mean, you've probably seen it more than anybody. You'll be out with your friends and married couples, and they take shots at each other. They take little digs at each other. I don't know why people do that. And what are you supposed to do but defend yourself at that point? You can't sit there and go, well, hey, Michael, if I took a slight little dig at you right now, you can't just sit there and accept it, can you?
Well, no, and you probably shouldn't, because then you just become the punching bag of the other person. Yeah. It becomes the rule that you get to say any nasty stuff to me you want, and I just have to take it. Mm-hmm. And especially if I let that go on for a certain amount of time, trying to turn that around then becomes me saying, hey, there's a new rule I'm introducing. It might be completely arbitrary and unfair, but I'm going to introduce it because I'm not happy. Yeah. And you have every right in saying, well, wait a minute, how come now all of a sudden? I mean, we had this set of rules that was working for us all along. Now you want to just change things? And you would be right. So it's a lot better up front to kind of set these rules up, to kind of figure out, okay, how am I going to respond to this, sort of like emotional stepping on my toes, but without, making it worse, without actually escalating the situation. And quite frankly, we should be teaching little kids to do, little elementary students, they should kind of get into it with each other. And they should be getting some coaching on working through that conversation. Yeah. And then it should be totally normalized that the teacher afterward talk about that little, hey, did you see what happened between those two? What did you all notice? Hey, what maybe might have been a response to what was said that could have had the conversation go maybe in a little bit better direction. But we're not doing that. We are not teaching kids how to interact about subjects that, they maybe find a little bit emotionally arousing and not escalate the conversation.
Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center. I want you to think about this, Michael, real quick, about just people being happy in general in their own lives within themselves. And does that make for a better relationship? So hold on a second. We'll get into it. All right, Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center. It's Marriage of Family Center, 661-327-5100. Or go to Michael Bean. You can find him on Psychology Today. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
Okay, the first thing I want to ask you is, do happy people have problems? If you're just a happy-go-lucky, you're happy with yourself, you're happy with your job, you're happy with your life, do they have problems when it comes to relationships?
Yeah, almost the same number of problems as the rest of us. Almost the same number of problems as the rest of us, only they just aren't so thrown off by them as we are. These happy people who are out there and just really have a great attitude 98% of the time. Yeah, stuff happens in their life too. People die, or, their kid isn't doing well in a certain area of life, or, we all sort of face kind of the same. And happy people tend to not get dragged down by them as easily.
I want to ask you, switch topics just a little bit. When you look at, we've had this conversation before about the shoes on the floor. And for those of you that don't know, we talked about somebody being upset about leaving their shoes in the living room on the floor. Is that the problem? Well, it's not really the problem. There's a bigger issue going on within your relationship, whether it be respect or something to that nature.
Yeah.
Can somebody, friends, family, drive a wedge through a good marriage? If you and I have a good marriage, Michael, and my best friend's over here getting divorced, he's single, and he's over here telling me how bad everything is and how I need to support him and how all of these things that happen between men, it happens in both genders. You have a single guy or you have a divorced person, or you have somebody who can't make a relationship work, and all of a sudden they're trying to drag you down to their level of misery. And then all of us, can they ruin a good marriage? Or if I jump on that ledge with him, am I already having issues in my marriage to where I believe that?
Okay, that's a really good question.
It happens a lot in Bakersfield.
We could spend a lot of these relationship hours just talking about that one topic, because that's really, I guess we got to kind of back away from the subject just a little bit at first. Okay. Just even going back to the shoes on the floor. Do you remember why that was even brought up? Do you remember you brought that up first? Do you remember the context that you brought that up? The shoes on the floor?
I don't. Do you?
You just said, and you asked kind of a reasonable question. You said, why don't you just pick the shoes up and put them away if they're bugging you?
If they're bugging you, just pick them up and put them away. Yeah. Yes.
Why can't you do that? And that's how the whole thing, that's how we started talking about, okay, a lot of times you can do that until the relationship isn't going well. And then those shoes become sort of a symbol to you of a lot more than just shoes on the floor. They become a symbol of disrespect or a lack of appreciation or a lack of connection or whatever else kind of isn't happening in the relationship. Those shoes on the floor that always bugged you, but before they just bugged you and you put them away. Now they bug you and they're kind of almost like a little jab. Oh, wow. Yeah, things aren't good. You know, my partner doesn't really care or whatever other kind of stories we got going on. Back away from that, and so we'll look at that with that bigger picture. And we'll also back away from the idea of, okay, my buddy's having a problem in their relationship. One thing we know, like logically, but then we don't apply, is we're only hearing half the story. We know that. When I say that to you right now, you're going, yeah, that's right. We only hear that one person's perspective of the story. Mm-hmm. We get that. We totally get it 100% until our friend starts telling us about the terrible things their partner's doing to them. And then we're like, oh, man, that's terrible. We just jump right on board. We forget all about the fact that, they might not be the perfect partner either. Probably most of these relationship issues are a two-way street. Now, I'm not talking about extreme situations where somebody's being abused or somebody's a complete narcissist. Those situations happen. But in most cases, when there's a relationship problem and my partner's doing terrible things to me, I'm not being great back either. I'm not being a very good partner either. I just forget about that and I focus on all those things they're doing that is a problem, and I sort of excuse away all the things that I'm doing that's a problem. So we forget about that. We forget that problem. And one of the reasons it really helps to go to a therapist for your relationship is because you're talking to somebody who just doesn't buy that, who just doesn't buy the fact that you're a victim of the terrible things your partner's doing. No, I see it as your relationship is sick. It's broken. It needs fixing, not one of you is a villain and the other one is this victim.
Gotcha.
That doesn't fix anything. So again, with this question of can someone drive a wedge between your relationship, I think that might be the story that we hear sometimes. And so it's the thing that we fear. It's been in our literature. There's plays that, this whole, Shakespeare wrote about it. And then there's movies about it. And so it's kind of, we have this fear, this underlying fear that somebody's going to undermine and get in there and speak these secrets that are going to just ruin our relationship. Well, they might if our partner is paranoid. Mm-hmm. If our partner is not paranoid and we have a great relationship, they're going to just say, oh, yeah, whatever, you're crazy, thinking that my partner's doing that or whatever.
Okay, hold on, Michael. I got something to say, just a little bit of a pushback. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
All right, 661-327-5100 is the phone number. I do want to ask you about just a little pushback, Michael, on can somebody drive a wedge in a happy marriage, right?
Okay.
Friends, family, whoever it may be, when you're with somebody and there's a problem that you have with that person, let me ask you it this way first. If I have a problem with you, will I see it?
Let's see. I guess we have to define problem, right? If you have a problem with me and you don't see it, for whom is it a problem? You know what I mean?
That's my question, though. I mean, let me just let's say just you got a hypothetical married couple, okay? And the guy gets up every Saturday to go play golf. Right? Golf could be a 4-hour, 5-hour, 6-hour day, whatever you turn it, right? And the wife has no problem with it. Okay? Mm-hmm. But her friends keep saying, oh my God, I would never let my husband do that. I would never let my man do that. I would never. Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, they're chirping in her ear about this problem. Or I'll go the other way with it too. Guy's wife gets up and she likes to go shopping on Saturdays and spend money, and he has no problem with it, but all of his buddies are over here going, why is she spending too much money, man? You should do this. And all of a sudden, there's a problem there that was never a problem for the husband or the wife in each perspective. So does that mean that the problem was created by friends, or does that mean there is a deeper problem in the relationship, and then this is this catalyst to get it out there?
Yeah. So
that's
a fine line there. No, you really are bringing up a good point. See, Well, let's say that I like to go to these little cheap nickel video arcade places and go put a bunch of nickels in there, and that's just something I really like doing.
Okay.
Let's say that, Mrs. Bean has no problem with that at all. She just thinks that's fine. I'm just going and blowing off some steam. But let's say I have another family member who's just like, well, actually, you're just wasting a lot of time, and you're in this environment, and I heard drug dealers are there, or, they just have this picture in their mind.
Yes.
And if they started talking to Mrs. Bean that way, then I have to kind of start to think, what's the impact of that talking? This other person who has the issue with my going to the Nickelcade, what is their relationship with Mrs. Bean, and the likelihood that their talking is going to have that sort of an impact?
Okay.
And so then I have to start making decisions about, who I'm going to let know I'm heading to the Nickelcade, because, and then you have to start managing those things, and you have to start talking more to your partner about, the time that you're spending away at golf or the Nickelcade, and making sure and checking your strength of the relationship. But if somebody who's just not really well connected to her is kind of giving her that information, it's just not. So there's a range there. There really is the possibility that somebody could get in your partner's ear about a thing. It's much less likely to happen if your relationship is good in the first place. If everything else is kind of going well, you're managing conflict well, you're having good quality time together, they're going to just blow it off. But if other things are wrong in the relationship, they might start listening.
I would bet, and I would put my house on this, that there are at least 50% of relationships in Bakersfield, there has been a problem caused by somebody chirping in somebody else's ear. That may or may not have been a real problem. And just because egos, perception, things like that, we can't take it. We can't handle it. We're not secure enough in our friendships or our families to for the perception.
Okay. Well, let me come back on that a little bit, because if that's true, if I give you that, then probably 90+% of that 50% have other issues in their relationship.
I'll give you that. I was trying to get to that point. I was trying to get to that point. I didn't know how to say it. I would believe that. I would believe that. So maybe,
I think it's pretty rare that somebody gets in our partner's ear when everything else is going well for us. But you're probably right. It probably happens.
Okay. Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center. 661-327-5100. Sound 94.1. Out of 12.1 Rhythm of the Valley, it's Romeo. Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center. It's a Marriage and Family Center, 661-327-5100. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm going to read you a text message, and we're going to get back into this people causing problems in your marriage. It says, hey, Ron, we had a friend like that would tell my wife, why do you let him do whatever he wants? My wife got rid of her friend. Real friends don't tell you how to live your relationship. And that's what I want to talk about, Michael, a little bit more about that. Outside of the extremes, okay, let's just take the extremes out of it, all right? If somebody's telling you how to live, how your marriage should run or your relationship should run because they don't believe in that, do you got to let them go? I mean, or how does somebody balance that? Do people in secure relationships not have to worry about those situations?
Well, very often people in secure relationships kind of don't. I mean, when you just think about the question, how would I handle a situation like that? I think a lot of times your answer becomes just pretty academic. It's almost like, how could I handle driving to work and not getting a flat tire? If you don't make an issue of it, it's probably not going to be an issue.
Now, here's the bigger problem that I think and I've told you this before, I think people treat their friends better than their wives or their husbands. And at a certain point, at what point do you go as a husband say, well, I know she's been your best friend since 12th grade, but look at what she's saying every time about me. Oh, well, she doesn't mean it. We're just friends, or vice versa. You pick your judge, but your friends, your wife tells you your friend's always saying something negative about me, but you've been friends since high school or whatever. At what point are you disrespecting your spouse by allowing this person in your life?
Well, we're allowing them to say those kind of things without challenging that. That might be the better question. What kind of a person are you to let that kind of stuff go on without just saying, hey, that's not cool. Let's keep hanging out and everything, but let's not have you be, dissing my person. That's not good.
Well, that's such a nonchalant answer, Michael. And as I've seen it play out in real life, that's exactly how people handle it. Like it's a big deal, but it's not. I would think it would be a bigger deal than that if your friends can accept your relationship in a positive way, even if they know it's wrong. And like I said, we're taking the extremes out of it. Just because you don't like the fact that he does this or she does that more than you allow your husband or wife to do, that's not your problem. If they don't have a problem with it, then why should you? So
that's it. Yeah.
I just wonder though, how many people out there are accepting this and just kind of going, well, they don't really mean it, or well, they're my friend forever, and well, Michael.
I know. And some of us need to broaden our circle of friends a little bit, spend a little bit more time with people that are going to lift us up, be positive, move us in good directions, challenge us in good ways, and maybe a little bit less time with the people that are going to be haters.
I always cracks me up when you say haters, Michael. All right, Michael Bean, thanks for stopping by. I know you have to be somewhere. Marriage Family Center at 661-327-5100. Michael, we'll talk to you next week, okay? All right, so I got this text message. It says, hey, Rome, can we talk about BS baby daddies? Mine's a little B who always says the worst about me. I just want to know why. Like I said, all things being equal, I'm going to say the reason he talks about you is because he's upset about the fact of, he wasn't a good enough man for you. So who left who? Did you leave him? He leave you? I mean, how did that work out? Most people, like I said, most people who talk about other people are insecure about themselves. Has nothing to do with the other person, to be honest with you. They're just using you as a scapegoat. So that would be my clinical advice but who's he saying it to? Is he just saying it to other people? It's like anybody who breaks up with somebody, your ex, you break up with your ex, and then all of a sudden they're talking bad about you because you broke up with them. So they felt like they've lost. So I'm going to go with that. 424-5477. Hey, Rome, why are you going to blame the baby daddy, for talking mess? Maybe she's a horrible mother. Maybe she was a horrible girlfriend, wife. Why do you got to blame him? Well, I blame him because he's the one doing all the talking. That's the reason I blame him. Most people who are happy with their lives don't give a damn what's going on with other people. I mean, unless she is really just a horrible mother who is not taking care of her child, then, that's a different situation. Even then, you just go to court and get full custody of your kid. But I'm going to guess she's not a horrible mother because she's asking me why he's doing this. So usually when somebody asks me why somebody is doing something, they're usually the ones that are on the up and up, and the other one is the jackass. And you guys know what it's like. You guys have lived in Bakersfield long enough to understand these dudes' egos are busted, man. They can't handle it. They are a bunch of little BS baby daddies. Because if their egos weren't busted, they wouldn't care. I always tell you guys this all the time. Why do you care? If it doesn't bother you, if you weren't concerned about it for yourself, why do you care? All right, 842-547-7. All right, so I got a text message. I'll read it the best I can. Hey, Rome, can we talk about B-ass baby daddies? Mine is a B, a little B, who always says the worst about me. I just want to know why. Well, because he's upset that you're not a couple anymore. He's upset because he's a dumbass and you moved on from him. And so he has to blame somebody. He can't blame himself, so he has to put it all on you. That's really what it comes down to. Alrighty, 4254777. Romeo, the real question is, did she do him wrong? Well, I don't know how. I don't know. And let me put it to you like this. As a man, even if a woman does you wrong, how long are you going to hold on to it? How long? I mean, you feel better talking bad about her? I mean, move on. I mean, what kind of pathetic loser are you? And this goes for males and females, not just men. But what kind of pathetic loser are you that when you're in a relationship that goes south, you can't just move on? I mean, I guess there's probably one or two things, but for the most part, I mean, just move on. There's somebody out there better. There's somebody out there that's going to treat you right, that you deserve, that deserves you. I mean, if you think like that, why are you holding a grudge? And I don't know what you mean by do him wrong. What did she do to do him wrong? Already 4254777. Did you do him wrong? Whatever that means. I don't even know what that means. But yeah, man up, move on. Why are you whining and complaining about your ex? Who cares? It makes you look worse. Already 4254777. She said, let's talk about B-ass baby daddies. Yeah? Why is he talking about you? Because his feelings are hurting. He's a little punk. So a woman texts me, hey, Rome, let's talk about bitch-ass baby daddies. Mine's a little B who always says the worst about me. I just want to know why. Well, the reason is because, well, maybe you did him wrong. Did you do him wrong? That's what everybody defending him is saying. Did you do him wrong? In what way? All right? And I don't know. I believe you. I believe he's just he probably wasn't good enough to be your man. You know, he's overcompensating for his own, accountability for the relationship not, staying together. So he's just blaming you for it. So he's saying everything about you. It's not his fault. It's your fault. And that's why he's running his mouth. That would be my assessment of the situation based on just the little bit of information I have. But other people are going to say, nope, you did him wrong, so he has every reason to talk about you. I just think you have no reason to talk. I mean, that says more about you or him that he's still dwelling on things that he wants to talk about you. That shows about what kind of hurt feelings he has. It doesn't really say much about you. It says more about him. All right, 842-547-78 Rome. Have you ever had a woman do you wrong? Because if you did, you would be talking a lot differently. Of course. Who hasn't had a woman do them wrong? I mean, you haven't dated and lived until you've been in a relationship where something has happened to you. The difference is, I just don't care. And to be honest with you, I'd have to really think about what happened. But yeah, of course somebody's done me dirty. Most of you have been in a relationship where somebody's done you dirty. But the difference is you actually care about it. I don't give a damn. I just start over tomorrow and do it again. Whatever happens, happened. Price of doing business. Let's move forward. So I don't care. I don't remember a lot of things to begin with. And why would I? Why would I dwell on the past? That's the thing that is bothersome. You're dwelling on something that's over with, and there's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do about it, probably this is why this guy is acting the way he's acting, the only thing he can do about it is dwell on it. Because obviously he can't change it. So he can either move on or dwell on it and talk about you. And that's why people do that. Because they can't move on. And that says more about them than it does about you. I got this text message. Hey, Rome, can we talk about B-ass baby daddies? Mine's a little B who always says the worst about me. I just want to know why. Well, somebody texted. What'd you send me? All right, 842-547-7. Good morning, Romeo. The reason he does is because he's a Raider fan. Well, I mean, yeah. I don't know. I think that he just blaming you. I mean, that's why he's blaming you for all his faults, and he can't handle it. So, I mean, that's just a punk ass dude. It's really what he is. And I don't know there's really nothing really that complicated about the answer of why he's doing it, because he's just blaming you for his insecurities. He's blaming you for everything that's his fault. Got to blame somebody. Can't blame yourself, right? All right, 842-547-7. Hey, Romeo, we really need to know what happened before we can make a decision on why he is talking about her. You're just blaming the baby daddy, but she has to have some responsibility in the relationship for the reason that he's talking about her. No, she really doesn't. I mean, I agree with you that we don't have all the answers. I agree with you that there might be more to the story. She might have done something, but what could she have possibly done that would make him still be talking about her, right? Like at some point, don't you guys ever get over an ex at some point? Hey, Rome, I was going to pay for therapy, but I'll keep listening to you. Well, it's because I know what I'm talking about. But I mean, like, for me, any ex I have, I couldn't even remember what they look like. Like, I could pass them in a hallway and wouldn't remember them. That's how little I care about anything that's happened in my past relationships. But for some reason, you guys still care. I don't get that. Alrighty, 42547-7. I got this text message. Hey, Romeo, can we talk about B-ass baby daddies? Mine's a little B who always says the worst about me. I just want to know why. Well, I think we've pretty much concluded why, because he's upset over the relationship ending, and instead of blaming himself, he has to blame you. Really? I mean, unless you're really a bad mom, unless you really are a bad person, which I'm not buying it, because if you were a bad person, I don't believe you would have texted me, why does my baby daddy talk about me like that? And so I just think he can't handle it. He has to blame somebody, so he blames you. Not taking accountability for his portion of the relationship that he screwed up. Already 42547-7. Hey, Rome, the difference between you're not a baby daddy. Now this dude has to pay child support to this woman for 18 years, and the court system rewards females for leaving their relationship. So it's her fault. It's her fault that he has to pay child support. Maybe he shouldn't have had the child with her? I mean, how does that work? Do you think you're based on your text message, you're assuming that she just left him because she was trying to get paid? I mean, maybe he was a dumbass and she had to get out. Did you ever consider that? And child support's child support. Let me tell you something. For all of you guys out there who talk, this is the better conversation, is all these jackasses out there who think they got roped into child support. Okay? I don't know how many of you guys out there really believe that you got roped into child support, or how you even get roped into child support. You had sex. Having sex, you could have a baby. That is the outcome of unprotected sex. You could possibly have a child. And if you're too stupid to understand that and understand the consequences of that, you probably shouldn't be having unprotected sex. Stop blaming. All these dudes blame. When there's a kid involved, like they had no idea. They had no idea. Oh my God, you can get a woman pregnant with sex? All you idiots have no idea, and then you blame child support. Oh, God. Hey, Rome, sounds like my baby mama lying on the radio, knowing she's the one talking bad on me. I don't care. My character speaks for itself. Don't believe nothing people say until you see it in that situation. Fair enough. It's a fair statement, right? So a woman sent me, she said, let's talk about B-ass baby daddies, because her baby daddy's little B always talking about her, right? And she wants to know why. Hey, Romeo, the reason why he's probably hating on his baby mama because she looking better and found someone better than him. I mean, you might be right. RD4254-7-7 Rome. There could be all kind of reasons why he's like that. Maybe she cheated on him and caused the separation. Maybe let me just throw this out there and let me just stop you right there with the cheating. Okay, let's say that's what it was. All right. And I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying let's use that as an example. Okay, maybe she did. How long are you going to hang on to that? I mean, seriously. Like, how long are you going to sit there? How long are you going to be bitter about that? Move on, bro. She don't want you, obviously. Stop being a little B and move on. Get over it. RD4254-7-7. Maybe keeps the kids from him, etc. But dude's got to remember at one point he loved that female. So to be bad-mouthing her shows how immature he is. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't understand. That's what I don't understand is you guys, how long are you going to hold on to something? I mean, that's the stupidity of you men that call yourself men. Bro, let it go. Move on. Like I said, I can't even remember what any of my exes looked like. They could walk up to me in a hallway and I wouldn't know who the hell they were. It's because I don't care. My life's different. I moved on. There's a reason. They're an ex. It's time to go. Regardless of the reason, why are you dwelling on the past? That says more about how pathetic you are as a man. RD4254-7-7. Hey, facts, Rome. Don't be silly. Wrap your willy. Yeah. That was because of the person that said, well, maybe now he has to pay child support. Well, how about this? Don't have a child then. I mean, and that's the stupidity of you dudes. These dudes always make some excuse about child support. Well, guess what, bro? It's your child too. Maybe you shouldn't have had a child with that person then. If you're concerned about child support, maybe you don't have a kid. All right, 84254-7-7. Girl says she wants to talk about baby daddies because her baby daddy is a little B, right? And she wants to know why he's talking about her. Good morning, Hal. What's going on?
Romeo, good morning.
Good morning. What's going on?
This topic already got on I'm annoyed. Okay, first of all, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so baby daddies. I don't think that it's the baby daddy's fault. Why did you spread your legs? Why did you get pregnant? Why did you bring a child involved? You know, and these females, they say, my baby daddy this, my baby daddy. Well, look at you. You're petty too. You're petty just the fact that you want to get mad because he's over there dating a freaking better girl than you, for one. Probably thicker. You know, she probably had her boobs out, her BB out, whatever. And they want to say, well, you know, they're petty. Their baby daddy is this and this and that. But then again, look at them. They don't get themselves ready. They're like so insecure about their body. If you're so damn insecure about your body, how you look, do yourself a favor. Go to the gym. You have all day to be home and be scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, whatever you're on, and worrying about him. No. Get your job, get yourself ready, and do yourself a favor. Makeover.
All right.
Come on.
I
mean, it's the truth, Romeo. Like, they talk about men and this and that. No, I know this is a girl.
Here's the real question. I agree with what you're saying because that does happen, okay? My question is, what happens more? The scenario that you're talking about or the scenario that the baby daddies are the bad ones or the jackasses? Which do you think happens?
I honestly, my first one, okay, fine. You moved on. Hey, congratulations. I met your 2 kids and I met your wife. Hey, we're even friends. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit there and fight over a person for what?
I agree with that. Why would anybody fight over a person? That's just, there's too many people in this world to fight over anyone.
And there's so many fish in the sea. Man, please.
All right. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Bye. That's my only problem. And I hate to move on from what she said, is just there's too many people in this world to fight over somebody, to be upset over an ex, to be upset over anybody, anything. There's always somebody better out there, especially if the one you were with didn't want you. What do you send me here? Hey, Rome. Hey, Romeo, my son's mom did me dirty, cheated, maxed out credit cards, and put me in debt. I called it off. Do I go and talk about her? No. At the end of the day, she's a great mother, and my son's mother. She's a bad partner, but a good mom. No child support involved in my case. Everything is mutual. But okay, fair enough. The question I would say is, if there was child support involved, would you be talking smack, even after she did all the tea? But that's my point. There's a cost to doing business when you're involved with other humans. Okay, it's just a cost to doing business. So if you're in a relationship and it don't work out, why are you talking smack? It makes you look like a petty little person because you're talking about something that didn't work out. And it doesn't make the other person look bad. It makes you look bad because you're dwelling on something that should be over with. All right, 842-547-7. Hey, Romeo, my kid's dad is the same way. All he can do is attempt to bash me in front of our kids. He refuses to get a job because he says he will not help support our kids. And if I wanted his help, I should have never left him. I have a full-time job, go to CSUB, and make sure my kids don't go without. It's been 2 years that my ex-husband still continues to make others feel sorry for him instead of pulling his head out of his you-know-what and doing what he needs to do for our kids. Side note, he was abusive and using drugs. I've always been a great mother, never cheated, and always took care of everything. But that's what I'm saying. To me, that's when the woman asked, I mean, he is a loser, and he's talking about you because he's not going to blame himself. I mean, that's normally why people talk about other people, because they're trying to overcompensate for their insecurities. They're trying to overcompensate for their character. They're not good enough, so they got to make you feel as bad as they do about themselves. RD42547. What's going on?
Hey, I'm calling you about the story you're talking about. I believe women should stop blaming it on men.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, why just stay away from the man and be a woman? Just stop trying to lean on men all the time so you can blame your business on them.
Okay. I mean, I think there's some validity to that. Absolutely. But
I totally agree with you. If you're doing something behind your partner's back, it is cheating. Period.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Have a good morning.
I mean, you guys sit there when it comes to cheating and you go, okay, I've been disrespected because somebody had sex with somebody else. Okay. That's where most of you draw the line. But it's not disrespectful when he or she lies to you about who she's going out with or where she's going, or he or she is keeping you in the dark about something, or he or she is having personal conversations that with people of the opposite sex that you don't want, that those conversations should be kept just between you and your spouse or your partner. You guys don't find any of that disrespectful enough to call it cheating, though it's just as bad. All right, 842-547-7. Hey, Rome, what'd you say? Hey, good day to you, Romeo. When it comes to ex-partners, there will always be problems and drama, especially with women, due to the fact they can't let it go. Okay, so that's the question. Well, then there's a better question. When it comes to your ex, who's not letting it go? Who do you think doesn't let it go more, men or women? Hey, Rome, texting someone else and hiding it is a form of cheating, emotional attachment. Why do they let their partner know they're texting out of the marriage? Because they know they're wrong, but if a guy is doing it, he's wrong, but not her. I mean, there's a double standard. I mean, we could all say that there is a double standard. Okay, we all know that. But it's cheating. If you're texting somebody outside your partnership. You know, whatever it is, it's cheating. But you guys forgive that more so than forgiving your partner having sex with somebody else. There are not degrees of cheating. Disrespect is disrespect. Lying is lying. Okay? And if you can't see that, then okay. I feel bad for you. I feel bad for the type of a relationship that you're in. Disrespecting somebody is disrespecting somebody. Okay? Just like these people who all, these men and women who talk bad about their partner behind their backs, to their friends, to coworkers. That's disrespect. You're telling me that's not as bad as your partner having sex with somebody? That's even worse. Good morning, Al. What's going on?
Romeo, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I just heard the radio this morning before I went to work, and it was a female talking about how her ex talks about her.
Yeah, he's always talking bad about her. It's a baby daddy.
Well, I mean, she has to understand she chose this loser. But, I mean, besides the point, if he talks about her, I'm sure he talked about an ex. And any man that's going to talk about someone else to another female about another female, that's a big red flag.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think there should be a different standard for men and women when it comes to talking bad about your ex?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the past is the past, and if you're still living in the past, then there is no reason why you should ruin someone else's future. Like, if you can't get over your ex, you know how they have, like, Alcoholic Anonymous classes? They need to have Breakup Anonymous classes. Because, some people just can't get over it, so they want to talk about the other person just so someone else won't date them.
That's hilarious.
And then you can actually be the teacher.
Oh my God, that's funny. They should have classes.
They should have Breakup Anonymous classes. That way they can join around and cry with each other and, and have little groups together and go out and hang out and all of that stuff.
That's a great idea. All right.
Well,
Thanks yeah, I do.
You have you definitely have yourself a good day. But I had a side note here. I want to know why men talk about women being fake. Right? They say, "Oh, I don't like girls that do this and this and this and that." But you're willing to date a woman that has full-on plastic everywhere. That's a double standard.
Well, but men are stupid.
Exactly. And I thought of you the other day when a gentleman asked me if I knew how to cook, and I said, what does me having to know how to cook bring to the table besides the food? I mean, what do you have to offer?
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous too. People are
Well, no, I just feel like women should know how to cook. I said, well, I have an idea for you. Then you can date your mom. She'll cook for you all the time.
That's funny. It's just the hypocrisy and the idiocy of men is unbelievable because they always want to find some woman and find their fault and then blame all women instead of finding the woman they want who doesn't have the fault. And that's the stupidity of men. I just don't understand why they do that. But,
and the worst thing is when they say, so you listen to Romeo. I'm like, yeah, I listen to Romeo. Oh, so you're just blah, 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 blah. And I said, why are you hating on Romeo? Obviously, he's got more intelligence than you do.
Well, I'm glad. Thanks for standing up for me.
All right, you have a good day.
Me and her are the two smartest people in Bakersfield because we both listen to me.
Romeo in the Morning.
Every morning.
On 94.1.